I wonder if it's too soon to make any To Catch a Predator jokes around this film. What's up, guys and gals? Jared here with another space alien on the hunt of a movie review. So we finally got a proper third film in the Predator franchise, written and directed by Shane Black, simply titled The Predator. The universe's most lethal hunters are stronger, smarter, and deadlier than ever before. When a boy accidentally triggers their return to Earth, only a ragtag crew of ex-soldiers and an evolutionary biologist can prevent the end of the human race. So is The Predator the alien blockbuster we've been waiting for? Let's find out. Now, before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of The Predator down in the comments down below. Was this Predator a solid third entry? Was this Predator the solid third entry that we needed, and how does this compare to the other Predator films? Now let's get into some of the good things that this film did. What this story did with the mythology and about like the Predators and the backstory was really interesting, not just the story in general, but rather the mythology. I want to make that clear. It really gets into the inner workings of the Predators and why they really are showing up and hunting the best of the best. It also elaborates on Predator to Predator conflicts and also how like humans or this secret government agency actually knows about these Predators and what these killing machines are capable of. And I believe that this movie actually ties into Predator 2 with Gary Busey's character. The action in The Predator was another one of its saving graces. Every time there was a shootout with the Predator or the Predator was skinning someone alive in the trees, that's when the movie felt really good and felt like a Predator movie. A specific scene comes to mind, and it's one that's actually shown in the trailers, and it involves a laboratory. It's a really well executed, no pun intended, scene. The Predator is completely brutal, and I will say that there are a few casualties, so like these scenes, there's a few other ones throughout the movie, so there's no shortage of ass kickery. Now, some of the bad things about this movie are the story in general. It was a complete mess. I don't want to spoil anything, but the directions that this movie went are just not that great. Like I mentioned before, the mythology in this film is really great, but the story, kind of where they took this film, it just didn't really add to the overall film or Predator franchise. It might be due to reshoots, but things just happen, and by happenstance, the thing or object that that person needs just so happens to show up or be there right at the right moment. Basically, everything in this movie is just too convenient. And I think a lot of this has to do with the editing or the structure of this film. It's rough. There are several times when a scene is playing out and then there's a hard cut and the characters are doing a completely different thing in a completely different area. And it just doesn't happen once or twice. It happens enough that it's noticeable throughout the whole film, and every time there was a shift in the movie like this, my brain basically blacked out and I couldn't even remember what just happened in the previous scene because we're in this new scene. After leaving the theater, I really had to sit down and think about the sequence of events of how this movie really unfolded. Lastly, the humor in this movie. I'm not a comedian or writer or connoisseur of comedy, but all of the jokes that were in this movie were downright bad. A majority of the humor comes from the ex-soldiers, mainly Keegan-Michael, and it's just a bunch of your mom jokes and basically straight up middle school trash yard talk. There was no thought or creativity put into these jokes. They really aren't that great and they just fell flat. For example, one of them is,
"If your mom's vagina were a video game, it'd be rated E for everyone."
Overall, The Predator is this badass alien on the hunt film that was really affected by editing and studio reshoots. With some great mythology setup and some ass-kicking action, but with a less than great story, editing and structure that really didn't help the film, and some terrible humor, I'd borderline C/skip this film. If you want a badass alien doing his thing, go for it. If you want anything else from this Predator movie, I'd probably wait for rental. So what did you think of The Predator? Was this the badass return to this alien hunter? Or was this movie just a big mess from beginning to end? I want to hear about it in the comments below. As always, you can find me on the social medias at Jared Buckendahl on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Stardust. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Again, there's plenty of movie reviews, trailer reactions, comedy skits, fun videos on my channel. Go and check those out. And until next time, I'll see you later.